Made some donuts this morning to start our day off right. And yes, they do not look like donuts because my sister has a donut pan and I don't. And I completely forgot to get it for her. So we freeformed them and they ended up looking like this. And I'm sure they'll taste
I
just
eat
as good. No purple.
But I like.
Hey y'all, good morning. So we are working in the garden area today. We borrowed a tiller from a friend. We will be doing a no-till garden, but we did not prep everything like we should have in time, and so therefore we're gonna do just a really shallow till to prep the ground. We have also had our pigs here. They don't always root very much. I don't know if you can see, but the first area they were in right here, you can barely even tell. But then it rained a lot. Excuse me. And then you can see the difference in them just kind of uprooting a little bit. So they kind of give us a little bit of a head start. We're kind of in a rush against time this morning. It is supposed to be rainy. But this morning it's beautiful. So, yeah, we're going to use the tiller and prep this area. So we'll bring you along for the day while we do that. You guys enjoying a bonfire?
Yeah, that one man. And Ethan's just playing with the horses.
Yeah, he's over there watching the horses, isn't he? It's a cold morning. Let's go back in and check on Kenneth and see what he's up to. Okay, so tell me exactly, so we're taking all these small ones and putting them over there, right?
Yeah.
To line the edge?
Yeah.
And then, but we're leaving the big ones, right?
Yeah, we're gonna leave these ones here. So I'll have these 2 rows of big,
and then obviously the pigs will not stay here. But since it's so moist right now, they're doing a really good job. I mean, we literally just moved them here, what, just a few minutes ago. And they root like this when it's really, really moist. If it's dry and the ground is pretty solid, then they don't do this at all. But we want them to do it right now. Got a fuzzy on your ear, buddy. Hi, Missy. Hey. So we have names for our pigs, but we're we're in a little bit of a disagreement with the children.
Well, applesauce is not.
Is she okay with applesauce?
I think so. It's bacon or pork chops.
So I wanted to name them pork chops and applesauce. If you've seen the Brady Bunch episode, and so you'll know what I mean. So I immediately thought of pork chops and applesauce.
Now it's
no,
Wilbur?
she used to keep arguing that.
I thought it was bacon.
So she wanted it to be bacon, but now all of a sudden she switched to Wilbur from Charlotte's Web. So
How about Wilbur bacon pork chop?
Wilbur.
We got a first, middle, and last name. There you go.
So
Okay.
when you have 4 kids, it's a little hard to name animals. When we got our chickens, the 2 oldest, yeah, well, our son that's now almost 4, he wasn't old enough then to care. So the 2 girls named all of them, no problem. We had 6, and so they each split them up, each named 3. It was no big deal, but the more kids you add, they just tend to disagree more, so it's really hard. So I'm not sure if we'll ever have a general consensus on animal names.
Okay, so we are building the fence. My daddy just walked with my brother. The pigs are moved, and then down ground is staked up. So we just help him get the fence up.
Leave a walkway for this one, and then I'll butt those 2 up against it. That way, I don't want to take away useful space, but having a little bit of a walkway is kind of nice.
Yeah, no, we need a walkway for sure. Plus, I think just aesthetically it looks better. I mean, in my opinion. I mean, they're kind of already like a mishmash. None of our raised beds match. We would get on a kick and use certain wood, and then we started this too.
I'm gonna have to change these because,
yeah.
I mean, they got a few years left on them.
But we're just grateful for them. So
Yeah.
they will grow us lots and lots of food, and I'm very excited. So the overall ending of this will be like this. We'll have those 2 that are left over there, those 2 square ones, will be right there and right there.
The story on these ones and that one were funny because I wanted to buy 10-foot pieces, and the lady at the counter at the lumber yard, she said, all right, here's 10-foot 1 by 6s or 1 by 8s, and I get out there, they said we don't have 10-foot. We only got 8-foot and 12-foot, so they gave me 12-foot for no extra charge. So,
but they're a good size, and I mean, since they're so narrow, they're easy to reach across, so it's no big deal. And then so we'll have the 2 rows here like this, and then the rest of this will be in ground, and we'll have a little bit of space on the end here in case we do want to add. Kenneth would like to add more raised beds. They just, as you know, they cost money. I would say if you're trying to choose between in-ground gardens and raised beds gardens, we have done both, and they each have their pros and cons. I can easily find caveats with both methods. So there's nothing wrong with trying things and then switching it up and then having both. You can have, like we're doing. We started out when we moved here. Did we start out with, we started out with just in-ground.
Yeah.
Yes.
This whole spot here.
This whole spot where all these raised beds are, this was all an in-ground garden. And then the story behind us switching that is, this was all, there were no houses here. Now they're way back. I mean, we're still 10 acres away from them, but this was all farmland. And we did not realize, we knew it was farmland, but when we moved here, we did not realize that they crop dusted. And so we were out here one day and I had the kids playing and we're like, oh, look at that plane. Wow, that's really low. What is it doing? And it took a second for me to trigger just because my brain doesn't work that way to think. I'm not chemically minded. I'm completely the opposite. So I forget that other people do that. And so we're out here and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Look at that plane. I wonder why they're doing touch and goes in the field in front of us. And then I see the spray and I'm like, kids, get inside. So that happened quite often, more often. I mean, I wasn't comfortable with it at all, but it was very often. And our garden, to give you an idea, so here's the field, there's our driveway, and our garden was right there. And so we quickly...
Yeah, I was noticing it on all the green leaves. I was noticing them that they were browning out.
Yeah, so Kenneth was noticing effects on our garden, and we didn't want that in our system for our family anyway. So we quickly had to come up with another solution. We had just moved here. We didn't have the option of moving. Thankfully now they do not crop dust it. Some of it's still farmland, but some of it they've sold off in plots. So thankfully that is no longer an issue. But when that happened, we built raised beds behind our house. You know, we knew it was still in the air, but at least it was farther away and back behind our house. So the house kind of helped break that barrier. And then when that stopped, we decided, we built a few more raised beds and then now we're back to the front. So all that to say that if you're starting off gardening or if you've been gardening for a while, it is okay to change things up. It is okay to experiment. And you know, I kicked ourselves for a little while when I realized we want to move everything back here because this was really good nutrient soil that we had worked. And then we let it go, of course, when we decided, oh, fun. When we decided, yeah, when we first did it, we did a mushroom compost. We have a mushroom farm about, I don't know, an hour and a half away or so. But then we've been using, now we have a local horse, like equestrian center, and they make, okay, they make horse manure compost from all their barn stall cleanouts and stuff, and they turn it regularly, and I think it's about 9 months old. Okay, I'm coming. I think it's about 9 months old before they sell it to you. So it's good and decomposted, and it worked really well for us last time. So, yeah, what's up, buddy? You enjoying your pretzels? Oh, excuse you. Say hi. Anyway, so we're gonna get that again this year. So the plan for this is we've got it tilled just slightly, and then we're gonna cover it with a layer of cardboard, which we're gonna go try to pick some up today. Like I said, with the rain, I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. And then we're gonna lay a layer of cardboard down, and then we'll wet that, and then we'll cover it with that compost, and then we'll probably go ahead and go and put a layer of all these wood chips on top of it. And then also, I would really like to get a greenhouse up this year. And so we're gonna work on doing one with the cattle panels. I think we can do it for fairly cheap. And I'm not quite sure where we're gonna have that at yet. We're still figuring out plans. I know we've discussed on here before, all of this area we plan to have fenced off for animals, but we need our greenhouse in an area that gets really good sun, and our backyard doesn't quite get full sun. So we're gonna have to discuss that, but we can go buy all the supplies and then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Hey guys, so don't worry, I'm driving, but I'm just on my driveway. We're headed back home. I rushed to town really quick to get those cardboard boxes. We know somebody who owns a local bookstore, and he was having a sale, and said I could have the boxes whenever they were done, and so they were about to close, so I left most of the kids at home with Kenneth and ran to town real quick, and we got all those boxes. And let's just say that doesn't even look like many. That whole back end is full, and I've got some up here with me. Lots and lots of boxes that I'm really excited to be able to use on our garden. And so here, hopefully we can get our compost soon, and then we can get this laid down and good to go. I think Kenneth pretty much finished up outside, but it just started to rain. So we're gonna go ahead and end the vlog here today. And we will be back soon to share with you the progress of the rest of the garden. It's looking really good. I'm really, really excited. And so until next time, I hope you have a blessed day.